Hello, my name is Alex from Nai.io, Naii.io, and today I'm going to have a look at Sitesauce. That is made by Miguel Piedrafita, and he asked me to do an analysis. Must have been months ago, so it's quite a while. So I'm going to do a landing page analysis of his website, sitesauce.app, and I'm going to do it via his the mobile site, the mobile version. Okay, so I have my mobile phone, in this case my iPhone X, attached to to my computer, so you can basically see what I'm doing here. So that's I think that's great. First of all, I'm doing modern mobile websites because it's where people use the browser most of the time. Yes, there is desktop and so on, but I think it makes sense to check these and see how the copy, in this case, the copywriting, mostly the copywriting is done here. Okay, so Sitesauce, and that's what I know, and I also see it here from the copy. Maybe I can, if I select that, then you can, yeah, perfect, that works. Nice. So a static version of your website in one click. Okay, cool. So the name is Sitesauce, very obvious here. You can see it here. And then a static version of your website in one click. Awesome. So we should maybe talk about quickly about the avatar, the kind of person that Miguel is addressing. So definitely technically advanced people. So people, if you put a newbie there and it says a static version of your website in one click, they will say, "Hey, what? I don't even know what do you mean with that." So it needs to be some kind of like technical people. Doesn't have to be like the super nerd, but at least someone who has an idea, who knows what dynamic websites are and static websites are. So these are the kind of people, and probably he's also addressing people who are, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs. They run their own website, or at least they have an idea and they outsource that to someone who's dealing with the tech stuff, but they know what the tech is all about, but they just don't have the time for that. So these are the kind of people that Miguel is addressing. This is not a full-fledged avatar. You definitely would have to find out who the real avatar is through some questions that I would normally ask my clients. Really in depth, can last up to, I don't know, 3-4 hours depending on the project. And so with that in mind, technical people, solopreneurs, people in this category, we're gonna continue. So I'm seeing a static version of your website in one click, which is great. Again, for those people knowing about the tech stuff, but also, and there's an important, it's important to know as well, is you need to know where they are at. Like, what is their knowledge about your solution and your product, right? So are they aware of that? Do they know what the thing is about? Do they know what the actual problem is, right? Are they aware of their problem? So these kind of things. So we will be assuming at this point that they know that there is a performance, at the very least there's a performance difference between a static site and a dynamic site. That's for sure. So that's what they know. Okay, so then it says, let me just select that. Sitesauce converts dynamic websites like Joomla, Craft CMS, and keeps changing Express Engine, Laravel powered websites into static websites or static sites, and keeps content in sync, or WordPress as well. So, and Ghost. So any kind of website that is powered by a CMS, a content management system, that is accordingly a dynamic website, can be converted into a static site. And then he's already addressing a pain a problem keeping the content in sync, because if you run into the problem of you creating a static website, then it's static and there's nothing dynamic in a sense of, okay, what do we do when you have to change something? So he already addresses a potential problem with people think, yes, so I have a static website, so now what do I do if I want to update that? So he says keep the content in sync. Very clear, very so I don't see an issue here, not at all. Start your 7-day trial. There could be something, start your 7-day trial, yes, or he could say something like, create your static site, convert your static site now, something like that. So that could be even more helpful. Start your 7-day trial is more regarded, it's more connected to him, like, to Miguel. But for you, it's actually, as a visitor, you want more actions that speak to you. So convert your dynamic site now, convert to a static site now, something like that. That would, I think, be more in the interest. So let's move on. What's in it for me? Very good. He's addressing that right away. Enjoy all the benefits static sites provide while keeping everything good about the backend. So important point. So you have the dynamics the dynamics basically of having this backend, or the content management system, the CMS, but also the benefits of the static site. So both worlds, best of both worlds. So then he says minimal costs. Sitesauce hosts your static sites on Vercel, formerly Site, offering unlimited bandwidth and their world-class CDN for no additional costs. There's something that keeps, you see the minimal costs here jumping, here it just keeps jumping because of the animation. This is just a small thing, but it keeps bothering me because I see these kind of animations. So I would prefer if he would make sure that he gives this thing a permanent height so it doesn't keep jumping, or find another CSS hack that I'm not aware of. So, but this jumping is really distracting. So yeah, but moving on to the benefits. So he's going into the benefits, which is great. Minimal costs, blazing fast load times, executing expensive operations on build, and serving your sites through Vercel's world-class CDN results in semi-instantaneous page loads. Okay, so it's fast, and there are minimal costs for the static site, and it scales, so you can even make it bigger. So it says, with guaranteed 0 downtime and edge regions around the world, 1,000 concurrent visits load as fast as a single one. Awesome. So he even says guaranteed 0 downtime. That is a bold statement. That is a very bold statement. Unbreakable security. Without access to your backend, there's no way for anyone to steal sensitive data or deface your website. Okay, so wait, let me just check here. Deface, vandalize. Okay, so that's what it means. So without access to your backend, there's no way for anyone to steal sensitive data or deface your website. So unbreakable security. Again, very bold statements. So he's pretty sure. Guaranteed 0 downtime, unbreakable security. So copy so far is very, very bold, very confident, which is great. Always updated. And then it continues. New changes made on your content will automatically trigger new builds and be reflected on the static site. Again, this kind of a trigger new builds. This is very tech speak, so he definitely speaks to these tech people, like I mentioned before. So it becomes clear here in the copy. Also, the icons here are nice. I can select them, but that the icons above there speak a very clear language. It's the color scheme of what is it, turquoise, light blue or even greenish, this kind of mixture. So he keeps doing that, which is great. And then it says built for teams. Forget about password sharing. Your sites can be shared with your whole team for no additional costs. And then see pricing. Okay, see pricing is also good. So what do we have so far? So far we know the name. We know what it does. We know what it is. We know what it does. We can do a 7-day trial. Again, we can make that call to action button a bit more customer centric. And then what's in it for me? So the benefits, which is great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 benefits. Okay, and then it goes into pricing. Now, how does it work? Okay, so he's following a good structure, which is great. How does it work? You create a site, give us a link. So you give us a link to your website. It's that simple. Okay. Then we deploy your site. Deploying is the execution of your site to bring it online. And then it says, you know what I mean? So it keeps jumping here. And this is like, he definitely needs to fix that. That's super distracting if you're really want to enjoy the site. So then it says step 2, we deploy your site. We trigger the first deployment, which generates your static site and deploys it to Vercel. Vercel is this provider where they host the site for you. And then we keep your content updated. When your content changes, we trigger a new development which updates your static site. Okay, so we have, how does it work? You create a site, meaning you give the link to your website that exists. Then they deploy the site on this Vercel infrastructure, and then they update your site. So it sounds very, very easy, but of course I'm wondering, and that's why he does a very, very nice transition to how does it actually work, and does it actually work? So we have testimonials here, in this case one testimonial by Peter Zoom, and he says, it took us less than a minute to launch a static version of our WordPress site. So less than a minute to launch a static version of our website, WordPress website. Everything just worked as you'd expect it to. So that's great. That's really, really good. And again, he's making a smart move, coming from this is how it works. This is a guy who proves that it works. And now, if you don't trust us, then see it for yourself. So I'm not going to go to everything here. Made static, okay. So yeah, it just goes through that. Local site. Yeah, you can watch it yourself. So that's kind of should prove the point. Okay, so and then basically sales is over, or the sales part of it. It says Sitesauce is an open startup. 5,000 deployments, 490 sites, 402 users. That's great. I'm not entirely sure about this open start. Okay, so I'm aware of open, what this means. They're fully transparent about their numbers. Monthly recurring revenue, $1,000 with 39 paying customers. The costs, Okay. Perfect. So they're sharing the stats. So that's great. So they're transparent. So it's not directly related to the thing itself, but it adds some more trust where they're standing. So basically revealing their business model, right? So, and then, okay, it goes into more convincing. It's simple, no tricks pricing. And then it says no surprises or hidden fees ever. So, them trying to make sure that this is like a very honest and real and sincere and transparent deal. Now we have the plans. Team subscription grants your entire team unlimited access to Sitesauce. You can add as many sites and deploy as many times as you want with no cap, or no cap on bandwidth or visits. Included is unlimited sites. Deploy your sites to this I mentioned Versal or site, unlimited deployments, and official integrations for popular CMSs, like WordPress, Statomatic, Laravel, all these. Not Laravel is another one. That's another, content management systems, not PHP frameworks. And then a single payment for your entire team, $19 a month. Start your 7-day trial. Convert, like I said, start your 7-day trial, or convert to static now, I would say. I would try that and do it like an A/B test if that works better than start your 7-day trial. So that's the team subscription. I'm not actually entirely sure if that's the only one, but it looks like it's the only one, which so kind of describes that they are targeting teams, obviously. So it's not only for solopreneurs like I initially assumed, but it's actually for teams. Single payment for entire team, $19 a month. Schedule a call. Jump into a call with the creator of Sitesauce to get you started. Schedule now. And then, I don't have my mail app here, so it would otherwise go to Miguel at sitesauce.app. Okay, interesting. And annual pricing. So this is the monthly pricing. You could save 20%. So these are like some not last resort, but these are some tools, some tactics to get the sale. Scheduling call is one way, like making it personal, even with a creator could even be interesting. I know, but he's probably working in this scene where I'm also part of, where being a creator is kind of like it's nice to call it a creator. You could also say, if you go into another direction, you call it like the CEO or the founder. If you want to be a bit more formal, you would call it like CEO. That probably can give a bit more credibility. But creator, I think for this context is fine. The name would be interesting. I think I would mention jump into a call with the creator, with Miguel, the creator of Sitesauce, to get you started. With Miguel, the creator of Sitesauce, to get you started. So to keep it personal. Annual pricing is great. That's a great option. It's another way to convince the person to make the purchase, and then it goes back. Okay, so I click on see monthly pricing, and then so I don't see annual pricing. Simple. Wait, is this a new page? Weird. Let me check. Pricing focus. So it just moved. Let me just double check here. So see monthly pricing. Oh, it just changed. Did it? Let me just restart. So that's interesting. So let me go down to the pricing, see it in action, 19 a month. So, and if I click see annual pricing, or not, I'm not doing it now. Let's see if it's here. Okay, so simple, no tricks, see annual pricing, and then it changes. So there's a script running, and then it changes. So that's very smart. That's great. So he presents the more expensive version as the monthly price is also less risk involved because it's only a monthly subscription, but it means more money for him because otherwise you would be saving these 20% here. So that's great. That's a good move. FAQ, of course, very important. I'm not going to go through all these. Does Sitesauce replace regular hosting? Can I run Sitesauce from my development or staging environment? Well, it's recommended to keep an instance of your background running somewhere, like a sub. It's also do blah 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 blah. You could have a WordPress blog on your computer, run it locally, blah, blah, and push it to production via Sitesauce without needing to host the backend anywhere. So important questions about the hosting. Some technical questions. How does the Sitesauce detect when the content changes? How's it building? How's Sitesauce better than others? And oops. Yeah, still running. Will my contact forms work on my static site? Recommends the use of Jamstack. Okay, so technical questions. Production ready? Is it production ready? And then he goes to these personal questions. Who built Sitesauce? That's Miguel, Piedrafita. And then he gets more personal. And he, like I said, he could have been more personal here, even with the call with the creator, not like mention a name, be personal here, and then you can mention the complete name here. But it's great. So did we miss your question? If you have a question that isn't answered here, feel free to reach out. We'll do our best. There's something about the we, because for now I'm not entirely sure I saw a team, but that's like a general thing. Do you talk about, if it's just you, do you talk about we, or should he actually just say I, to give it personal? If there's a team, I think he should mention that, because he says who built Sitesauce, and it says it's only him, and then we say, did we miss your question? So I would keep that to I if it's really only him. If you have a question that isn't answered, feel free to reach out. I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible with a helpful answer. Okay. Yeah, and then another call to action. Let's get your first static site up and running. It takes less than a minute to get started. Click here. Yeah, so I would make it probably something like click here to get your first static site up and running. It takes less than a minute to get. It takes less than a minute. Yeah, click here to get your first static site up and running. It takes less than a minute. And so on. Yeah. So yeah, that's the site. There's an interesting, this typical. Oops, let me go do it again. The team will reply. So yeah, it seems to be a team. So I have this intercom implementation here. Overall, a good site. I didn't go into the subsites because I'm only having a look at the at the main landing page, but I'm really pleased with how it's done. Really nicely designed, simple also, nothing fancy. Consistent visual design, video, which is great. It's always you could even consider having the video further on top. Because seeing it in action it's a nice way to introduce instead of having this aesthetic version of your website in one click. I will probably leave that, but I would probably remove insert in between a static version of your website in one click and this other copy text here. I would probably put the video here, this one, between those, so it's actually more appealing. Also has a higher chance for people to see what it's about, to stay longer, maybe even on the site, and then, like I said, this button could be convert to your static site. Or what he's doing now, get your first static site up and running. Get your first static site up and running. That could also work. Okay. So yeah, that's the very nice site, very well designed. Miguel, muchas gracias, un placer. Really, really nice designed. Just small things that you could improve. Like I said, if you want, this goes to Miguel, but also whoever is listening. So if you want to get more into depth analysis and optimization, you can always reach out to me. That's Alexander at naii.io, Alexander at naii.io, and then you can tell me your website, and then we can see how I can optimize them, the site in terms of copy, and also in terms of the design, in terms of the user experience, and how the reader, your target market is experiencing that. So I can help you with that. So thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. You can see the complete analysis on my website. That is naii.io, naii.io. Thank you very much and take good care. Bye-bye.